Here we go. So real quickly, we want to review our axes. This is what we're going to call the x-axis. And this is called the y-axis. So this one here is what we call vertical. Straight up and down. And the other one then would be horizontal. Okay. Okay, so vertical and horizontal axes. It's like there's two number lines that cross. Right at the middle where they cross, we have 0 for our x value and 0 for our y value. We call this the origin, O-R-I-G-I-N, origin. Okay. And then we can find any point. Whole numbers are where the lines touch on the corners of the squares. Those would be whole numbers. If we don't have a whole number, then we're not on a corner. So such things as fractions and decimals. All right. Remember that we have here all points are an x value first and a y value separated by commas, and they should be in brackets. The x value tells you to go left or right, and the y value tells you to go up or down. Remember left or right, we have negatives to the left, positives to the right, and going up or down like a thermometer, negatives are down, positives are up. Okay, so those are some key ideas to remember. The quadrants. This section here is quadrant 1. In that section we have positive x values and positive y values. So I show that by having the plus sign where the x and the y are. Going counterclockwise, we have quadrant 2. That has negative x values now because we're on the other side of 0. And what about our y values, Alex? Good. Please write that down. Thank you. And down below, quadrant 3, special quadrant because both values happen to be negative. In quadrant 4, that's an I and then a V. That one has positive x again, but negative y's. Okay. Any questions so far? What I want you to do now then is understanding that. I want you to plot these 4 points. So you're just going to put a dot where it belongs and then the letter A, or a dot where it belongs and the letter B. Now negative 3 over 2, that's a little harder to do. What should you do to that fraction? Yeah, go to a decimal, negative 1.5 makes it easier. Square root 7, I would go find the decimal, because you guys are good at decimals, okay? Go ahead, plot those 4 points. You did, I'm going to use green. So 3 tells you to go over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 2, 1, 2. That should be where the letter A is, right there in this spot, okay? B, negative 1.5, here's negative 1. Negative 1.5 is in the middle between negative 1 and negative 2. And you go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be smack dab right there. Bing, bam, boom, right in the middle. Okay? C, negative 7. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then down 8. Because it's negative, I go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should be labeled C. Right down here. Negative 7 on my x, negative 8 on my y. Yep.
3 over 7 is 0.75. So shouldn't it be before the first line?
Sorry, say it again.
Like 3 over 4 is 0.75. Shouldn't that be before the first line?
This is 3 over 2.
No, I'm talking about for B though.
Yeah, this is... I'm lost. Sorry, what's going?
It's 3 over 2, right?
Negative 3 over 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you combine them or something.
3 over
4. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay. Okay, so D, I'm going to go to my calculator. Square root 7. So 7 square root 2.64. No problemo. Go down here. 2.64, and then I go over 1, 2. There's 2.6. It's a little bit to the right of 2.5. And then up sorry, down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I shouldn't be in the middle. Don't be in the middle. And that's labeled D. Any questions? Good to go? Okay. Next part, intercepts. I talked about last year, but I know you guys are weak on these. I say x-intercept, you say y equals 0. What we're trying to do with this is we're trying to figure out where are we crossing the y-axis. Right? In order to cross the y-axis, we cannot go up or down. That means y equals 0. So you must know that the x-intercept is where you cross the x-axis, so y equals 0. So this would be some number, and this would be 0. That you can then use to find an equation. So if that's the x-intercept, the y-intercept must be the opposite. What would the y-intercept be? It would be where you're crossing the y-axis. And so that means x equals 0, because for the y-intercept, you don't go anywhere left or right. So you're trying to find where am I crossing the y-axis. You cannot go left or right. So then you're going to say this would be 0, find your y. Please put a box around this. You need to know this, have this memorized, this idea. That's a huge important idea we're going to use from now to the end of the year. Okay, extremely important. Okay. All right. So then we're going to graphing. So we're going to always need 3 points, 2 points for a line and a checker point. So choose easy x values. Easy x values are 0, 1, 2. -1, 0, -1. So let's choose the easiest ones, 0, 1, 2. Now my teacher said, oh, you should go -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's a lot of work. We're not there yet. Okay, so we're just going to start off basic and do 0, 1, 2. What you need to do then is you need to substitute. Erase. Add a girl. There we go. Or boy, whatever. I don't know. You need to substitute and solve. So this is where algebra solving is going to come into play. If you have any questions about it, ask. So we're going to say y equals 3 times 0 minus 3. Solve for y. Go. Alec, you done this? Do it. So what's y equal, Alec? -3. Okay. Any questions about what I did there? Casey? No? Okay. So then I'm going to find what x has changed now. So I have to redo this, and instead of using 0, I use x equals 1. So y equals 3 times 1 minus 3. Y equals 3 minus 3. Y equals 0. Okay. Go ahead, do that one more time, this time for x equals 2. So x has changed one more time. Okay. Once you got those 3 points, graph the points, make a straight line. Go for it. Your line should be long. Okay? Line must touch the edge of the grids. Okay. So plot those points. 0, -3. 1, 0. 2. I screwed up there, didn't I? It's not 2, -3. It's 2, +3. Guys didn't say anything. Shame, shame. Tell me when I'm wrong, okay? So 2, 3. I knew I was wrong because I didn't have 3 points on the line. So keep that in mind. If you don't have 3 points in a line, you might have done something wrong. Now for your line, use a ruler. Go through your points, make it long. Okay. And it should go from one side of the grid to the other. When it touches both sides of the grid, that shows it goes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And that's what lines do. Lines do not stop. If the lines stop, you call it a line segment. We're not going to see those till later, okay? Line segments. So we want a line. Now there is another way to show it. You might see this on the internet or other textbooks. Arrowheads. So if you have a short line with an arrowhead, the arrowhead also means it goes forever. But if we touch the edge of the grids, you do not need arrowheads. And short lines can get you in trouble. Okay? You might not see the answers we need. Questions? Okay. Now we have another equation. Choose some easy values for x. What are some easy values? The easiest ones are 0, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, something like that. Go for it. Substitute in and find your y values. That's going to be a little more challenging now. So we have y plus 3 equals -2 times 0 plus 6. Okay. So this 0 gets substituted in. How am I going to move this plus 3 to the other side? Subtract 3. Good. Okay, that's a very important idea. So y simply equals 3. Okay. Go ahead and do the same thing, except x equals 1 now. And then do the same thing for x equals 2. Okay. Once you've found your points, graph the points, make a line. Okay, there's your line. Now, if you don't have a ruler, use the edge of a piece of paper. Paper always has straight lines. Or fold a piece of paper in half, then it's a little thicker. So you always have a ruler to make a straight line, folks. Use it. It's really important. Okay, it gives you a clear picture. Now, I should label these. I don't want to leave anything unlabeled. So this here is from question 2. So I can use a 2. This is from question number 1. I can use a 1. Or I can write the equations on the line as well. But you shouldn't leave it blank. Any questions? Turn it over. Now we're going to graph using our intercepts. So we have to find where they cross the axes. So I say x-intercept and you say y equals 0. Okay. I say y-intercept and you say x equals 0. So you're going to substitute in and solve. So we have two separate questions. This will be 4x minus 2 times 0 equals 8. And the other one is going to be 4 times 0 minus 2y equals 8. Okay, so the first one in red, solve for x. And the one in green, solve for y. Go for it. Careful with your... So this is going to be 4, whoops, I should use reds, right? 4x equals 8, x equals 2. So my one point is 2 comma 0. Another one is going to be negative 2y. That's tricky, right? 0 minus 2y is negative 2y. Okay, double check you have that negative sign there. It's a mistake we sometimes make. And so y equals negative 4. So here we have 0 for x, negative 4 for y. Plot those 2 points, make a straight line, go. Okay, so there's 2 points, nice straight line, looks good. And we should label that 4x minus 2y equals 8. Now we want a checker point. We want one more point to check to make sure we did it right. So let's choose something. Can someone choose a value for x? Roxanne? Sorry? Sure. So x equals 3. Let's find what y equals. So we get 4 times 3 minus 2y equals 8. 12 minus 2y equals 8. Negative 2y equals, ooh, got a minus 12 here. So it'd be negative 4. So then y equals 2. Does that work? Is this point on our line? 3, 2, right there. So check, we did it right. Now often for your checker point, you'll get fractions. That's okay. Just make sure the point's on the line, right? So it's okay to get fractions there. That's really common. Don't worry about getting fractions. Right? Any questions? All right. Special lines. We did this in grade 9 as well. We often had troubles with this. So I say y equals negative 2. I can plot that right away because I know how to do it. But if you don't know how to do it, make a quick little chart, x and y. What should the value of y always be? Negative 2. That does not change. That is your equation. Choose some easy values for x. 0, 1, 2. Okay, now you can plot those points and draw the line. So please draw that line. Y equals 2. Sorry, y equals negative 2. There's your line. Y equals negative 2. So all the way along that line, y equals negative 2. It never changes. It's a special line. This line is horizontal. Okay. Now, what about the opposite? Well, it shouldn't be horizontal then. It should be vertical. And let's double check that. Now, there's x, there's y. X never changes according to that equation. So we can go 5, 5, 5. Now choose easy values for y. What are some easy values? 0, 1, 2. Plot those points, make the lines. Some of you might not have done this. Some of you might look at the equation and know exactly where to put it. Okay? there's my line, and so now I'm going to draw and say x equals 5. X equals 5. Any questions? You should be an expert on special lines. If I say horizontal, you should be on, you know what I mean, or vertical. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to do the next part because that's enough for you. All right. So the attached worksheet, do that tomorrow night for homework. Okay, do that tomorrow night for homework.